Alright, this is a real boring video of me cleaning out the chicken coop. You can see the wild, vicious velociraptors that are running through the yard. Sweet PDZ, there's what I'm going to be using today. And my shovel, as I'm cleaning out the entire poop boards. And I'm going to use this wheelbarrow to make things easier. Hopefully the tires are aired up, which they're not. That one kind of is. I'm going to give it a try anyway. Get out of there. Let's see if I can still use it. So to make this a lot easier, what I'm fixing to do. Yeah, look at that. It smells delicious. Oh, you know what I need? Gloves. I'm gonna close this while I go get the gloves. Normally, all I do is scoop out the poop from the poop boards about once a week. Sometimes more frequently. I try to do it every day because there's so much crap, but it ends up being once a week really. And you can see it's been about that long now. It is time. Open this back up. Let's get gas in it still. Bring this wheelbarrow a little bit closer. We're gonna get in here. Oh, look at all this fresh, lovely poop. So this is the sweet PDZ that I use in the poop boards. It's supposed to eliminate the ammonia smell from the poop and dries out the poop, but when you've got this much of it, it really doesn't do anything. So I would just typically come in here, like I said, I try to do it once a day, at least once a day, but it ends up being about every 4 days, or weekly rather. Take my little poop scooper I got here, and I just go through like this, sift out the poop, and dump it in the bucket. Normally it's a bucket, not a wheelbarrow, but today I plan on taking all of this out and replacing all of the sweet PDZ in this board, and that board, and that one. Hey, look, I got, oh, they're using that one now, huh? A couple eggs in there. Those are fake eggs. Normally there's some, yeah, a couple more eggs right there. But anyway, let's get going. And this is going to be a real boring part for you. Probably don't need to replace this. It's still relatively dry, but this back here is wet. It's like wet sand. It's not very good. I'm gonna use this smaller scoop I got, because I'm going to just shovel all this out. Take it in the back of the garden and dump it in the garden. This is what you go through when you have chickens. Just massive amounts of poop. That's all they do is eat, poop, and if you've got hens, lay eggs. And they don't even lay eggs all the time. They typically stop laying eggs in the winter, or at least slow down. And then, I believe it's once a year, when they molt, they replace all their feathers with new feathers. They'll stop laying eggs because they need the energy to make new feathers rather than eggs. I'm just gonna leave that. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. I guess there's a lot of this in this board. It can be, it's still relatively dry. Can be used still, but I'm just gonna get rid of it all because I got new stuff to replace it with. And I'm kind of in a hurry today. It goes a lot quicker when you're not worried about sifting the poop out. You're just taking everything out. It goes a lot quicker. Get in there, little turd. Alright, that's good enough for that one. You can tell where they roost the most, where there's the most crap, right? They love this one, and they love this one. Not so much this one. But, it's life. Come on. Isn't this fascinating? I don't know what'd be worse, just shoveling chicken crap all day or like horse crap and from a horse stall. I don't know. Probably horse crap. I have to get everything. Generally about twice a year I'll do the floor. So I'll scoop everything up, same way like this, throw it in a bucket, throw it out back somewhere. But it's just pine shavings. And they don't spend much time on the floor in here. Really the only time they're in here is maybe when it's raining outside or when they're roosting, which they roost up here and they just crap collected up here rather than just all over the floor. So there's really no need to do the floor every week. So I only do the floor on the pine shavings. I replace that probably twice a year. In the spring. And then maybe in the winter sometime. Maybe even once a year. I don't know, to be honest, really. I know I did it before the winter. Last year. A whole bunch of this. It's really good for the garden, but too much of it is also not good for the garden. But I kind of just throw it out there year round. I don't really worry about soil properties, how much phosphorus or how much nitrogen or how much whatever is getting into the soil from the crap. I just throw it out there. That was good. Eventually, I'm going to redo these poop boards because you see they're not even crapping in the board, they're crapping in the bag. Because they sit up here and their butt hangs back here or hangs up here, and it's not really where I want them to be crapping. Isn't this fantastic? Scooping up chicken crap. If I had a compost pile, this would be excellent to throw in the compost pile, but I don't have one set up yet. Probably will try to get one going in the spring. Then I could throw all my food scraps that I don't give the chickens. All the chicken crap, you know, all the yard waste, everything in the compost pile. Newspapers and paper, and make some good compost. This shovel barely fits in here. And when you have roosters, you hear that literally all day long. And it's even worse if you have multiple roosters, because when one rooster crows, there'll be another rooster that'll be like, oh, you're crowing? Oh, I gotta outcrow you. So I'm gonna start crowing too. And then it's just like a crow off all day long of roosters crowing at each other. And I've got several roosters. So you can imagine, all day long, you just hear them crowing. I tried camping out back last year. At about 4 o'clock in the morning, they started crowing. The sun wasn't even up yet. It was still completely dark. And the roosters were just crowing non-stop. So that was the last time that I camped out back. Alright, so these look okay. I'm gonna go get the PDZ from the shed and load them up. Get out of the way. Alrighty, that didn't work out. Warm out here today. I'm working up a sweat. This is some new stuff. This is powder. I didn't realize that until just now. I don't want the powder. I wanted the granules. I'll show you the difference here, I guess. This is the granules. I guess I'll put that here. This is the granules. I'll just dump it in here. Kind of like cat litter. It's gonna be too much. That's all right. Spread it around. Yeah, I got way too much in this. Way too much. But anyway, so sit up here, the crap down there. This collects it, eliminates the ammonia, dries it out, and then I take either this or this bigger one, and if you do it every day, it's not bad at all. Scoop under it like cat litter, sift it out, throw the poop away, and then you've still got fresh PDZ to keep your stock clean. I guess I'll just leave this in here. Normally I'd probably want maybe 1 inch, 1 to 2 inches of this, but it might be 1 inch. I'd probably do less than that though. I'll spread this over here. Here. Since they don't roost in this one very often, I'll probably just leave it about this much. Try to spread it out a little bit. You can see why I wear gloves when I'm in here, because it's, I mean, quite literally chicken crap everywhere. Try to be somewhat clean, but you're gonna step in it, you're gonna get it on your fingers at some point, you're gonna get it on your clothes. It's unavoidable. So this is probably good since they don't roost over here as much. I'll put a little bit more over here. Can you imagine if I had more than the few chickens I've got now? It'd be worse than this. I probably have maybe 25 chickens, and most of them are not even in the coop. They just stay out all the time. I don't know if I'll need this whole bag over here or not. Like I said, I got powder. What the I didn't want powder. I didn't realize it was the powder. So let's see what this looks like. This is going to be interesting. I don't think this is going to work quite like I planned, but I'm going to try it. I have no idea how this is going to affect anything with the chickens. Probably not going to go well. I won't use much of this. But this is powder. Son of a gun. I didn't think to ask if it was the powder or the granules because I didn't think they made this in a powder. That sucks. But I'm just gonna use that much. Throw some back here. That's where they crap all the freaking time. Well, I'm gonna have to go back to town and get the granules and replace this, but it'll be fine for a day or two. 'Cause this is what you want. So you could easily sift it. And it kind of stays in here. This stuff might do something with their respiratory system. I don't know. When you've got a bunch of crap on there, I don't know how it's gonna sift. Oh well. Mistakes happen. I'll put this back. I don't want to set it on the ground because the ground's wet and this is not a plastic bag. I'll probably just end up giving these away because I doubt if the store will take them back. Now that that's done, I could go dump this in the garden. I'll show you all the garden. So that's the chicken coop that they roost at night. This is the run, which is basically mud. They like to hang out in these little wood structures I built. I don't know. I don't know what to put on the ground to keep it from getting muddy because I put this in a bad spot. When it rains, all the water runs from uphill all the way downhill, and that's why this is all just mud, because it's just eroded all this away. Little chicken door, and I did that little space back there for when I hatch eggs, and I put the chicks in the back and the brooder inside the coop. They have their own little door to get out, and they can interact and get used to each other before I turn them loose in here. So that's just a little separate coop for the chicks that I hatch. I'll probably hatch some in the spring. Water buckets and food on the ground down there. Anyway, that's the run. I'm gonna go dump this in the garden so I can call this chore for the day done and get on with some other activities I like building a fire and drinking beer. Sorry for the squeaking wheel. Didn't know that it squeaked. But out here is where we have our gardens every year. First year we moved in, we did 9 gardens all the way back to the edge of the property. Last year we did 6. But there'll be a garden here, right back there, there, and over here. So this is where I've been throwing chicken crap, and then closer to spring I'll till these all up and chicken crap will get all tilled. I guess I'll just dump this over here. Definitely have to get a wheelbarrow. This one's not even mine. Somebody we know is storing this here because they just moved. They didn't have no room for it. Now I'll just spread that out a little bit and that'll be good. There we go. Alrighty. That's my fire pit over there. Little dollhouse, whatever you want to call that. And maybe you didn't see the fire pit right there, and that's the dollhouse I was talking about. Anyway, that's my property and the gardens, and I'm gonna call it a day. 20-minute video. Great. Thanks for watching.